Hi everyone, welcome. Today's class, I really wanted to honor the summer season. It's very sunny out, it's very warm here today. We're kind of having a little bit of a heat wave. And this time of the year can really be, we can really overstimulate ourselves. There's a lot of opportunity to be active in the world, to be outside, to socialize, and all of those things are so wonderful. And like the best parts of summer, is like enjoying being able to be outside for such long hours. But it can be really draining on our system. And so we're going to practice yin. Yin is the opposite of what this season is all about. Summer is associated with yang, so it's like the peak yang season. So for this class, we're going to try and balance out those energies, slow things down, cool things down from within. And we'll be focusing on the heart and the small intestine meridians, which you totally don't need to know about if you're ever like interested in that. Maybe I'll do a little workshop on that. That would be, maybe I'll do that. That sounds fun. Okay, anyway, if you have blocks, grab some, and a bolster and a blanket. Grab all the things. If you don't, that's totally fine as well. We are going to start in a reclined butterfly. So I'm going to use a blanket as a little pillow for my head. But again, you don't have to use anything under your head. And the blocks will be to support your outer legs. So if you don't have blocks, you also don't necessarily need them. But you could always grab a pillow and place the pillow under your knees or a bolster as well. So first come to lying down on your back. Bring the soles of your feet together, your knees open, and if you feel like you need some support under your outer thighs, slide your blocks underneath them so that they can gently open and feel supported. And I like to kind of just lift my hips up a little, scoop the tailbone underneath me, and then let my hips come back down to the ground. And sometimes that kind of helps release any tension that there might be in the low back. For your arms, you can let them rest down by your sides. You could open them in cactus arms, which is what I'm going to do to kind of help stimulate some flow through the heart meridians, which run through our arms. But if you prefer your arms down, please do what you need here. So settling in and feeling the support of the ground beneath you. Maybe sensing the heaviness of your body as you lie here. And start to come into the breath. Start to expand the breath. And if you can, think about slowing down your breathing. So as you inhale, see if you can take a tiny sip of air as you fill yourself all the way up so that it takes a really long time to fill yourself up. And same with the exhale. Try to let just a tiny sip of air out as you breathe out. And truly try to fully exhale all the air out and see if you can even linger at the bottom of your exhale. And then when you're ready, breathe in and feel your whole torso, your ribs, your lungs, everything kind of start to expand, dragging the breath back in slowly. And releasing like you're just barely opening up a valve to let all the air out. So when we slow our breath, it actually helps slow the heart rate. And when we slow the heart rate, the nervous system settles into a place of rest and digest. It helps the nervous system. If you've ever heard the term window of tolerance, it helps expand that window of tolerance. So keep breathing like this. I'm going to grab my little clock that I forgot to grab so that I can manage the time. And we'll be here for about just one more minute in this reclined butterfly. Slowing the breath, allowing everything to settle, and perhaps just taking these first couple moments of your practice to just simply acknowledge how you're feeling. How are you arriving? Also, if you wanted to add on to the arms, if they're in cactus arms, you could start to take them overhead and take hands to opposite elbows or forearms. Just an option. And however it is that you've been feeling or whatever is on the heart, can you bring a sense of acceptance to whatever's here? Which can be a very challenging practice, to be in a place of fully accepting all that we are, all sides of ourselves. But it can be helpful to remember that each one of us struggles with that. It is very human to have judgments and to have criticisms. But see if you can start to soften your heart space, maybe direct your breath into that area. And just for the next little while, what would it feel like to bring in a sense of openness to yourself, a sense of kindness, a sense of love? Let's start to open the arms wide now. Move the blocks aside, and let's wrap the knees into the chest and wrap your arms around your legs. Give yourself a big hug. Maybe rock a little side to side. Maybe take some stretches, whatever feels good. We're going to make our way up into all fours. So take your time getting there. And if you have sensitive knees, or if you're on like hardwood floors like I am, you might find that you need a blanket under your knees for some extra support. So maybe doing that. And we're going to come into melting heart. We're going to do one arm at a time though. So from tabletop, start to bring your left forearm down and turn your left hand to the right. So your left forearm is on the ground. And then walk your right hand to the top right corner of your mat. Kind of stretch it far away. And keep your hips lifted as you lower just your forehead and your chest towards the ground. If you wanted more intensity, bring a block on the lowest setting and place it under your right hand. We'll be here on this side for about 1 minute. And then see if you can just breathe into the back of your heart. And if you have a block under your right hand, you can make this more active by pushing down into your right hand just slightly. Or you can always make this more passive and let go of any kind of effort. Depends on what you're kind of looking for, what you're feeling and feeling like you need. You might feel this in your lats. I certainly do. Keep the breath going, keep it steady. Last little bit here. And then to come out, maybe lift your head and chest slightly. Replace the right forearm where the left forearm was, and stretch the left hand out long. And for more intensity, you can place your left hand on a block. And you might find that this side feels very different. It's very normal. If at any point your arm starts to tingle or go numb, go ahead and come out and sit back into a child's pose. You could bend your elbows wide. Couple more breaths here. Last breath, inhale and exhale. Good. And then start to find your way into a child's pose. So you can move your blanket if you want, or you could keep it there, but let your knees go wide, stretch the arms out long in front of you, or you can stack your hands on one another and let your forehead come down onto your hands with your elbows wide, giving your arms a little break. And take some slow, deep breaths. We're going to stay in this child's pose for just a little bit, and we're going to actually find a lateral side bend here. So start to walk your hands forward again, keeping your hips back towards your heels in child's pose, but then walk your hands over to the left, or sorry, to the right, excuse me. And you could always place a block under your forehead. This can be a little supportive. And your right elbow can just be kind of bent and down by your side. You could even reach your right hand back towards your right heel. You just want to feel some sensation through the left side body. Take 3 more breaths. Last one. Good job. And then slowly release, come through center. We'll go right into the other side. So maybe move the block over to the left. Stretch your right hand over to the left. And then release your head down. Your left arm can just kind of be bent down by your side. It could reach back towards your left heel, whatever's comfortable. And opening up through the right side body here. I certainly feel this side more than the other. With each inhale, see if you can imagine sending your breath into your right ribs. And where do you think you could soften just a little bit? And that could just even be in the jaw. So you might even move your jaw a little bit from side to side. Relaxing through there. Take one more breath in and out. And then let yourself come back through center into child's pose. Or if you're ready to get off of your legs, come up into tabletop. So coming onto your hands and knees, maybe taking a couple rounds of cat-cows. Just taking some time here to kind of release all of that we just did. Okay, and then from tabletop, you might want your blocks nearby. Let's start to tuck the toes underneath us and sit your hips back onto your heels. So you could keep your hands on your blocks and stay leaning forward slightly, and it makes it a little less intense. And try to really get both big toe ball mounds all the way to your pinky toes. So if you have to come up slightly, and then think about your inner ankles. Can you try to bring your inner ankles towards one another? They're going to try and kind of like flay out from each other. And take a breath in. Exhale. Maybe part your lips slightly and move your jaw from side to side. Relaxing the jaw. And then when you're ready, come back forward, release the tucked toe, maybe even tap the tops of your feet on the top of your mat. Shake that out. And then we're going to come into a lizard lunge. So you might keep your hands on blocks or a pillow or whatever you're using, and then step the left foot forward and come all the way up first. So upright through the spine, and slowly start to let your hips sink forward. And once you feel sensation at like 60-70%, try to stay there. So don't go like your deepest stretch quite yet. And we're going to just stay here for about 30 seconds. So I'm going to have my hands on the tallest setting of the block. And I have both my hands on the insides of my left foot, but you might prefer to have your left foot in between your arms. You could even have like a wide position with your left toes turning out slightly. Okay, and if you feel like you could use more sensation, then maybe you lower down to your forearms, or you just lower your settings on your blocks a little bit lower. And you can continue progressing, and we'll be here for just about one more minute. Stay with the movement of your breath and notice any sensations in your body that might be calling your attention. You might imagine sending your breath there, if that's helpful. Last little bit here. Breathe in. Full breath out. Start to make your way back up to your hands. And take a little counter pose. Move your hips back like a little half splits. Straightening out through your left leg as much as feels right. You can keep a big bend in the knee. You don't have to straighten it out completely. Might even rock your hips forward and back. You could take child's pose. If you want, you could even take a forward fold and step your right foot forward. Hang out in a little dangling pose. Wherever you are, just taking some breaths, breathing, letting all that go. And we're going to move into the other side. So if you're in dangling with me, you'll just step your left foot all the way back and drop the left knee down and start upright first. So kind of taking stock of this side slowly, right? Staying upright, starting to let your hips come forward and letting your hands either come down onto blocks or you could rest them on top of your right thigh. But I know the tendency can kind of be to go to our most extreme stretch in this pose, especially because it feels good. You know, it's like one of those that I feel like we always need it. But because we are here for a little bit under 3 minutes, try to take your time into it. Try to let the bones settle into place. And when your breath feels easy breezy, then you can maybe go a little further, coming down a level on your blocks or coming all the way onto your forearms. So what we want to do is train our nervous system that we can stay in these kind of stressful positions with our body, right? Like we're adding some healthy stress into our muscles, into our fascia. But the moment that we start having a hard time breathing, right, that's tripping up our fight or flight mode. So we want our nervous system to stay and rest and digest. We're here for about 30 more seconds. Notice where you might be gripping, and if you need to come out of the pose at all, always just honor that. Last breath here. If you're on your forearms, make your way to your hands and just take a little counter pose of half splits. Rock the hips back. Lengthen your right leg. You might rock forward and back. If you wanted to come into another forward fold, you could do that too. Maybe a little wider stance this time. Okay, and then let's start to make our way back into a tabletop pose. And then tuck your toes. And this time, you can keep your hands on blocks. Find toe stretch, sit back onto your toes, and then let your knees go wide. So you might even keep your knees on the ground. Just getting kind of a different sensation. Knees wide. Maybe roll your head side to side. Relax your shoulders. Okay, and then come forward. Release. Maybe shake it out. Okay, let's come into a seat and extend your legs out long in front of you. We're gonna come into shoelace. So I'm gonna actually fold my blanket so that I'm a little bit higher as I sit onto that blanket. And that just helps create some length in my low back, and if you find yourself like slouching when you sit, like that can really help create some space there. Okay, so right leg is gonna stay straight, and then cross your left leg over the right. And I don't have my foot planted. I actually kind of have the top of the foot on the ground, so the left leg that's crossing over is more like that. I think Griffey's warm. He keeps like fussing. Okay, and then you can keep your right leg straight, and you might feel a lot of sensation in your left glute. Then just stay there, and you can take a block, support that left leg like so, and stay upright. And there's your stretch. Or you can slide your right heel in, taking full shoelace. You can use the block no matter what, and you can stay upright. We'll be here for about 2 minutes. Or you can start to hinge forward and fold, where you'll start to feel more intensity. And if you do have a bolster and you're folding, a really nice way to use this is to just bring it at a diagonal in front of you so that you can lean forward and let your arms relax. So either bottom leg straight, both legs bent. If neither of these work for you, you can always just do a cross-legged sit and cross your left leg in front of your right and then fold. Since shoelace is, I would say, pretty intense on the hips, so please make sure you listen to your body, its needs. And we're already almost halfway through. Keep breathing, softening, listening to your body. If you need to come out at any time, you can do that. All right, if you folded forward, start to make your way back up. Keep your legs how they are crossed, and then take your right hand down beside you. Reach your left arm up and over to the right. So get a nice big side bend through the right. Breathe in. Full breath out. And then come on back up through center. And take it to the other side. Left hand down, right arm up and over to the left. And then come on up. Bring your hands back behind you. Unwind your legs in front of you. And do some little windshield wipers with your knees from side to side. Okay. Let's do the other side. So both legs straighten out long. Cross your right leg in front. Either choose to stay there or do your double cross of your legs. You can use the block under the right thigh for some support. You can use the bolster in front of you to fold. Or if folding feels easier, you could even, come all the way down. Everyone's hips are very different. Mine tend to struggle in this. And that's okay. And this side is more intense for me. So I'm not going to fold forward really at all. And that's totally fine because you can feel a lot of sensation just being upright or even just moving your chest forward like an inch or two. So yeah, sometimes I really love how humbling yin can be, and how it just allows you to meet yourself where you're at. Right. So, okay, I'll give you some quiet space. We're here for about one more minute. See if there's anywhere you're gripping. And see if you can bring a release there. Almost like a closed fist, gently opening. Last breath here. Inhale. And exhale. And if you fold it forward, just let yourself rise up. Keep your legs the way they are, though. And then bring your left hand down beside you. Reach your right arm up and stretch your right hand all the way to the left. And think about your right knee reaching towards the ground. Come on up when you're ready. Switch sides. Right hand comes down beside you. Left hand sweeps up and over to the right. And then come on up. Hands behind you. Release the legs. And do a little windshield wiper of your knees from side to side. And then just find a comfortable seat. We're going to end our practice with a little bit of breath work. We're going to do some alternate nostril breathing. So make sure that you're sitting in a way that feels really comfortable, that you can sustain. If you like sitting cross-legged, sit cross-legged. If you prefer to sit with your knees together and your sit bones over your heels, you could do that too. I'm actually going to do that. Yes, so there's a lot more space in my hips when I sit this way. So take some time to figure that out, your seating situation. You could even sit on a chair. Okay, I love alternate nostril breathing because it helps bring a little bit of balance into our bodies. So bring both of your palms first to face up. And then imagine, you can close your eyes or keep them open, but as you inhale, imagine that you're drawing breath up through the right center of your palm, up through the right nostril. And as you exhale, imagine that the breath is going out the left and down into the center of your left palm. So just stay with that for a couple moments. Inhaling through the left center of your palm, left nostril. Exhaling through the right. Imagine the breath flowing down into the center of the right palm. And then inhaling through the center of the right palm, all the way up through the right nostril, out through the left, and down into the center of the left palm. And do that one more time. And one more time on your own. And you can stay doing this kind of breath, just imagining that you're doing alternate nostril. Or we'll add a little mudra here. We'll do a sun seal with the left hand. So you're going to take your ring finger on your left hand and bring it down to the pad of your thumb, kind of down to the center of the left hand. And then take your left thumb, place it on top of the ring finger. So your pointer finger, your middle finger, and your ring finger are sticking out, almost like you're a Spider-Man. And the left thumb is pressing down on the right hand. This hand is just going to stay here. It's a sun mudra honoring the sun. Okay, with the right hand, bring it into a little balled fist first. And then stick the thumb out, stick the pinky finger out, and the ring finger out. So the only ones that are down are the pointer finger and middle finger. This is going to go in front of your face. And this will be your alternate nostril. So when you seal the right nostril, you'll seal it with your right thumb. When you seal the left nostril, you'll seal it with the pinky finger and the ring finger. I'll guide us through this. So take a cleansing breath in through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Inhale again. And then seal your left with your pinky finger and ring finger and exhale through your right nostril. Now breathe in through your right nostril. Gently seal the right nostril with your thumb and hold. Release the pinky finger, the ring finger, exhale through the left. And then breathe in through the left. Seal the left, hold very gently. Exhale through your right. Before you breathe in, try to really exhale all the air out and then inhale. Really gentle seal with the thumb and hold. Then exhale through your left. Let go of all the air. Try to pause at the bottom and then breathe in when you're ready. And then seal with the left. Exhale through the right. And go on your own. And I'll let you know when we're about done. So breathe in through your right. Seal the right. Exhale through the left. And through the left. And continue. Try to soften your face. Try to keep length in your spine. Relax the shoulders. If your nose feels clogged, do what we did at the very beginning with both palms released. Try to get one more full cycle, ending with an exhale through your right nostril. When you exhale through your right nostril, relax both hands, palms face up, relax your face, and just take a moment to pause. Notice how you feel. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. If you have time and you enjoyed that breath work, I would do another full cycle, maybe even two. It's a really great practice to do when we're really overheated and in the summertime. That concludes our practice. If you need a Shavasana and you're like, wait, we didn't do Shavasana, feel free to do that. My goal is to get a summer flow class up, so be on the lookout for that as well. And I hope that you have a very nourishing and grounding summer and know that you can come back to any of these poses and practices at any time. Okay? From my heart to each of yours, I humbly bow. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, your presence. Bye. See you soon.